This is the overview of my presentation. I will be first talking about motivation and problematic. Then I will proceed with explaining energy theft in smart grids, followed by the data description and pre-processing of the data. Then I propose a classification model. Then I will discuss the results, followed by conclusion. Energy theft is basically the activity of reducing the electricity energy consumption bill by altering the value of electricity consumption which is reported by any of the smart meters or sensors. So basically there are two types of attacks, physical attacks or cyber attacks. So physical attacks include shorting the smart meter or bypassing the smart meter or tampering with electricity meters or using cables. Now, cyber attacks include hacking into the meters or communication network so that they change the value which is reported to the electrical utility such that the consumer get a lesser bill than the bill for their energy consumption value. So we are proposing an energy theft detection framework which is based on data-driven model to secure smart grids against physical or cyber attacks. If we consider the business value of the energy theft detection framework, it is very important to know that energy theft causes huge losses to the electrical utilities, and it has been estimated that there is a loss of about 96 billion US dollars worldwide to the utilities. Now if we consider North America alone, this is around 4% of the annual gross revenue. And the traditional detection methods which are usually used or associated with energy theft detection are labor intensive inspections. Now, energy theft detection approaches in the past have been based on hardware based solution or data based approaches. Now the hardware based solution, it depends on the radio frequency identification tags. There are anti-tampering sensors, and there are anti-theft cables, there are tamper detection meters. The prepayment meters have been introduced into different utility markets with a little degree of success. There have been meter encasements using GSM interface methods or by the use of PLCs in smart grids. Now these are basically limited because of their high installation cost, the high maintenance cost, and the vulnerability of hardware devices to weather conditions. Now there are data-driven approaches which are currently being used, but these are dependent on the data sources that are used. So based on the data sources which are used, these are divided into three types. The type 1 for which the smart meter data are not available. There is type 2 wherein smart meter data and network topology information is required, which also these methods include state estimation based approaches or anomaly detection as an optimization problem. Now there are another type of data driven approaches which uses smart meter data and they require the label for thieving customers and normal consumers. Now in this technique, since the class label is available, we can use supervised machine learning models which have been proposed since 2008, and I have given a few references for that. So now we will be using the supervised machine learning model as well because we have smart meter data and thieving cases included in the data set, and mostly even if we consider developed nations or developing nations, meters are installed at every customer so that the customer energy consumption values can be noted, and the data are also available for the thieving and the normal consumers. The shortcomings of the current detection methods: most electrical utilities, they do not have the data that are needed for these data driven models, such as like if we are using type 1 or type 2 models, then transformer data, reliable topology, network information and parameter information are not readily available. Some of the existing methods, they utilize only electricity consumption and they are based on visualization or clustering methodologies. They do not have the labels as normal consumers or thieving consumers, but we are using supervised approaches for electricity theft detection. And as you can analyze, the confirmed electricity theft cases are thieving customers would be very rare, and there would be definite class imbalance between the thieving customers and the normal customers. Now the data that we have used for our modeling purposes, we have the real data from smart meter energy consumption, which has been provided by Smart Grid Corporation of China. In total, there are about 42,372 customers data which is available between the periods of year 2014 to year 2016. The features in the original data set include the customer ID, the energy consumption value, which are daily, and we have date time and the customer type. So the customer type is basically either normal or thieving customers. So this is the label in our data set, and you can see here there are about 25% of the missing fields. So dealing with missing data is also one of the major aspects in the methodology. Now these are the processing steps in the methodology. First, the data is acquisited, which is followed by the data imputation. It is at this stage we deal with the missing values. So the missing values are basically filled with the average of forward and backward fill. If any of the neighbors is not available, so we just assume it to be 0, and we just average the forward and the backward fill. Then we proceed with data normalization, which is basically minimum maximum scaling, which is followed by data reshaping. Data reshaping is performed for neural network models such as LSTM, wherein data reshaping is required. Also, it is at this stage we perform oversampling or undersampling so that we can deal with the class imbalance, and I will be explaining about this further. In the model selection, we have basically chosen LSTM based classifier. It is because they deal with the curse of dimensionality, and they can remember long-term dependencies in the data. And we perform parameter optimization such as the number of layers that we have to have in our model, and then we decide on the number of neurons in each of the layers, different activation functions that can be used in the hidden layers or the output layer, and how the fully connected layer will be activated. So these are the different parameter optimization that we need to perform. Then we perform the training, and we test our models using the performance metrics of accuracy. Now the target variable here is the customer class, which is normal or thieving. Now we have also checked the energy consumption pattern for the customer types of normal and thieving consumers, and we could identify that the average energy consumption pattern for non-thieving consumer is more or less the same. There are no fluctuations in the energy consumptions as much as the thieving consumers. For the thieving consumers, there are multiple fluctuations, and there are many crests and troughs in their energy consumption values. And we can also see that for the thieving consumers, here we are dealing with the consumer which are very close, and for a non-thieving consumer or a normal consumer, there is an average consumption range between 12.5 to 17.5, whereas the thieving consumer, since he will be using any of the meter tampering methods, his average energy consumption value which is reported is very low, even when both of the consumers are residential consumers. And for this particular consumer, we see many flexible curve which is highly volatile. Now energy theft detection, in case of cyber attacks, it can be easily identified by checking one of the conditions, which is energy consumed. If it is greater than the energy that has been billed plus technical losses, then we can say that there has been an energy theft, because in the cyber attack what is done is the energy that has been billed to a customer, that value is changed in the network communication or in the meter reading. So we need to just check the condition that the energy consumed at that particular distribution point, if it is greater than the energy billed, then the energy theft has taken place. The proposed data driven model that we use is LSTM based model. In order to deal with class imbalance, we use synthetic minority oversampling technique, and also we perform undersampling on the majority class. With this method, we recognize an exploitable relationship between theft data and honest data, and the proposed algorithm do not need any information of network topology. And the class imbalance in the data set, it is basically between class imbalance because two different classes have different number of records. There are solutions at data level or algorithm level wherein we use modified ML models such as ADABOS, kernel SVM, Bayes Minimax probability machine. At data level, we have techniques like random oversampling, random undersampling, amalgam of oversampling and undersampling, dealing with noise, or synthetic minority oversampling technique, which is simply called as SMOTE. Now, in our particular methodology, we use SMOTE. It does not cause overfitting. We also use undersampling on the majority class so that we can reduce the number of records, and SMOTE is used in order to oversample the minority class. So basically, if we need to understand the class imbalance effect, here we see that the minority class has a few records and the boundary which has been predicted is very close to these points, whereas the true boundary of the minority class is very huge. Although the boundary predicted is a subset of true boundary, it is far from reality. Now, if we consider the normal data, then the predicted boundary would be very close to the true boundary of the minority class. So this is what we want to do when we say dealing with class imbalance, and SMOTE on the minority class and undersampling on the majority class brings about class balance in the data set. Now, once the data set has been balanced, it is passed into LSTM recurrent neural network model. So this is basically complicated network because each of the neurons is a mini neural network. It consists of memory block and it makes use of three different gates with multiplicative units in order to process the information. It is better at handling long-term dependencies, and also it addresses the curse of dimensionality, which is usually associated with deeper neural networks. So that's why we have used LSTM recurrent neural network models. The LSTM architecture has three LSTM layers followed by fully connected layers with a softmax activation. Total number of parameters is around 1.6 million. There are different number of neurons in different LSTM layers. The results of our proposed oversampling LSTM based model is around 92.6%, which is definitely an improvement over the classical classification models or typical classification models. Also, we have compared our results which we have obtained with the different approaches which have been used in the literature on the same data set, which is Smart Grid Corporation of China data set, and we see that CNN based LSTM approach has an accuracy of 89%. Self-attention dilated convolution method has an area under curve of 0.92, whereas our proposed oversampling LSTM based approach brings about an accuracy of 92.69%. Now, I would like to conclude my presentation saying that the use of deep learning can be applied in order to deal with big data which is there in smart grids, to provide the security aspect or the processing capability of data at big velocity, volume or variety. The training has been performed using an LSTM based model after the oversampling technique has been used on the class imbalance data set, and with this we have achieved an accuracy of 92.69%, which is definitely an improvement over the previous approaches. So with this I conclude my presentation. Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity.